I want to start with a story. I was in Jackson, Mississippi about a year ago. I was working with some folks at Jackson State University, which is a historically black college. And we were working with the faculty and the deans down there. And I had to fly from from Jackson to New York City through Memphis that night to work with another client. And I got to the Memphis airport in time for the last flight out. And I got to the gate, and as soon as I got to the gate, a woman gate attendant comes on and she says, "Ladies and gentlemen, there'll be a 45-minute delay." As soon as the words came out of her mouth, I hear this voice boom out from behind me. "You talking to us, lady?" And I turn around, and there's this guy sitting behind me who I would best describe as Santa Claus with an attitude. Older white guy, white beard, white hair, well-fed, wearing overalls and a flannel shirt, carrying a car magazine in his hand. So I had the guy pegged, and I kind of chuckled to myself and went about my business working on my computer, preparing a talk that I was giving the next week. And comes time to get on the airplane 45 minutes later, and I get to my seat, and sure enough, who's sitting next to me but angry Santa Claus? So we did the nod. Those of you who travel a lot know what I'm talking about, this sort of thing. And we went about our business, took off, and I'm working on my computer. He's reading his magazine. And that's the way it went until we got to New York, and it was time for our initial descent. And then we closed computers, and as travelers know, this is the time when airplane chat starts, because it's now safe to get into a conversation. You're not going to get roped into 2 hours. And I turned to him and I say, "What's taking you to New York?" And he says, "Oh, I have a professional meeting." I said, "Really, what do you do?" He says, "I'm a radiologist." So boom, there goes that picture. Then I say, "Well, what are you working on?" He says, well, actually, he gets very animated. He says, "We're doing this very cool stuff with functional magnetic resonating imagery where we're looking at the brain and we're actually able to watch the brain and figure out how different parts of the brain respond when people interact with different kinds of people." In other words, he's studying exactly what I'm the most interested in. And had I not pegged him as angry Santa the car mechanic, I probably could have learned more in a 2-hour conversation with him in preparation for my book than in 3 months of study. So I start with that as part of this conversation because I'm not here to talk about you, I'm here to talk about us. This is what we do as human beings, isn't it? We all do this. We come into circumstances, we quickly evaluate what's going on, and then we determine something about those people. And usually, we don't even have the time to follow up and find out whether that determination is true. We just simply start interacting from there.